my cheque-book out of this jacket when you picked it up this morning?
Well, I didn't touch it, why?
Well, it's not in here.
Well, you won't need it while you're in here, will you?
Yeah, I know, but that ain't the point. I know it was in here when I called in to see Ron. I'm sure it was.
Are you sure you didn't take it out and leave it at home?
Well, I may have done. I can't really remember. Look, have a rummage at home, will you, Carol? I'm a bit worried about this. I hope I haven't lost that cheque-book. Sunday morning at St Mary's Church, a special service in which the 6th of June was to be very prominent. Clifford Apsley had presented a sermon from the pulpit which had the theme of lost loved ones and of those who'd made a mark on life for the bravery and patriotism they'd shown. He ended his talk with a special mention of the Pickles family, who'd tragically just buried their son in the churchyard, whose life had been lost through an unfortunate experiment with solvent. Then to D-Day. As you all know, the 6th of June is a very special day, which must be marked with pride, sorrow, and above all, memories of the people whose bravery, blood, sweat and tears made that day a very important one in the calendar of the Second World War. Tomorrow, Monday the 6th of June, here in St Mary's, there will be a special D-Day service to remember those who were lost from the parish of ACREBURY with Stoneacre. We will also remember and honour the survivors of the Normandy landings on that day. Some still with us, and some who have been called to rest by the Lord under more natural circumstances in much later years. You can read the words on the memorial outside here in the churchyard, but let me now remind you of some of those who fought but did not return. We remember Jacob Willis of Downacre Farm, Robert Winterman, Graham Cook of Stoneacre, Lawrence Vincent, Lance Corporal John Gossett of West Churchington Farm, and Joshua Jessel. Many from this parish were active on June the 6th, but those I have just mentioned fought but didn't return. There had been a large congregation this particular Sunday morning. This, unfortunately, was not always the case. But it was gratifying to Clifford to know that villagers wanted to remember what happened 50 years before. As people left the church after the service, Clifford greeted each of them with a shake of the hand and a smile. Miss Jessel came through the porch, red-eyed and blowing her nose.
Mr. Apsley, I cannot thank you enough for those wonderful words you spoke this morning, and thank you for mentioning my late brother.
Well, we mustn't forget those wonderful people. I dread to think what the world would be like today without their bravery.
Quite right. I remember the last time I saw Joshua, very smart in his uniform. It was before D-Day, and he'd been home on leave. Mother saw him off at the gate, tears in her eyes. He hugged me and said, "See you, girl. Keep smiling." He always called me girl. Oh, we do miss him, Vicar, but one is still very proud.
At the east end of Acrebury churchyard is a tall stone cross, a memorial to Acrebury's men who had been lost in the First and Second World Wars. Many villagers had gone across to just look and remember, not least Bill and Betty Barrett and Collingbourne Tuck.
Do you know, Bill and Betty, I always feel so terribly humbled when I looks at they names on this stone, 'cause I never thought, like you, Bill, I was in a job which they felt was more important for me to keep a-doing back here at home, supporting the agricultural industry. And you was farming, Bill?
Ah, that's right enough. We all did our bit in our way, though. Of course, our Reg went. He was in the Wiltshire Regiment. Well, the former Wiltshire Regiment, that is.
He wanted to go to Normandy this weekend, didn't he, Bill?
Yes, but his heart's too dodgy now.
Betty, how do you feel when you looks at your Uncle Jacob's name on the stone, then?
Very proud. But it's an awful thing to admit, you know. But I don't really remember him all that well now. I see photographs of him, mostly in his uniform, but I don't really think of him clearly. I was barely 20 when he died over in France.
Well, God bless 'em all. That's what I'd say.
At Prince Andrew's Hospital, Carol found Alec laid on top of his bed. He'd been napping, and when he opened his eyes and saw her, he smiled drowsily.
They didn't have to knock you out as well, did they?
Oh no, I didn't get much sleep last night. They had to keep waking me up to change the blood bags.
You're a bit different colour now than you were before.
I feel wonderful. Oh, I'm ever so hot.
How do you feel generally?
OK, except they've got to keep bringing me the pan. They've bumped up my steroids, hoping to calm the colitis down a bit, but whether it'll do any good, oh, well, I don't know.
Well, at least you're in the right place.
Oh, by the way, any news on my cheque-book at all?
No. I've searched everywhere for it.
Why the devil have I put that then?
Well, I don't know. But anyway, look, don't fret about it, because I called into the bank today and I've told them. They're cancelling your card too. They said they'll send you replacements.
Oh, well done. Look, why don't you pop into the office and see Ron about it? He hasn't met you as yet, has he?
Well, that's another thing. I did call in, but Ron wasn't there. I saw this other bloke loading up a lorry with some blocks and timber and stuff. I think it had just been delivered.
Are you sure he wasn't delivering the stuff to ACREBURY House?
No, he was definitely loading it up from ACREBURY House. He told me because I asked him where Mr. Hanway was, and he said he was at the other site, which is where this lorry driver was about to take the load.
What other site?
I didn't ask him.
Oh, well, Ron's supposed to be visiting me here today with the partnership contract for me to sign, so I'll have a word with him myself about it. The Boar's Head was reasonably full on Monday lunchtime. It was thought that perhaps the D-Day service over at St Mary's may have had something to do with it. John Clark's heart sank, however, when he was greeted with Dosser Young and Frankie Male as they entered the bar. I hope you two ain't going to tell me that you've been working hard over at the church this morning, 'cause I know differently. Frankie and me was working in there this morning before you drowsed from your slumbers, John. Pull the other one. It's got church bells on it. Mine's a bitter and Frankie's having a lemonade on the rocks. Dosser, why can't I have a bitter? One of us has got to keep his head clear for this afternoon. Oh, well, if you're the one that falls down the tower, steps in a drunken heat and breaks your neck and not me, I don't care. Shut up. What about accommodation then? You speaking to me? Yeah. Me and him need somewhere to kick down while we're working on that clock. Well, then have a word with the vicar. The vicarage is big enough. This is supposed to be an inn. It was once. We don't take paying guests anymore. Here's your bitter. Lemonade on the rocks, wasn't it? The clock's nearly ready, and if we could liaise with your Uncle Edwin on a regular basis under the one roof, then we could be finished and gone from ACREBURY before you know it. Yeah, I've heard that one before too. When Greg Harris arrived home from college, he found his mother preparing herself to go to the hospital to see Alec again. How is he?
Fine. The blood's made him look and feel as though he's had a summer holiday.
Oh, good.
Do you want to come with me, love?
No, I've got some college work to do, actually, Mum. Tell him I'll pop in from college tomorrow night.
OK. Oh, by the way, I've got some news for you. About Cleo's baby.
Oh?
Mr. and Mrs. Embling had a visit from him and his new family last Monday. So your gran was telling me.
Who are they and where are they from?
Well, they live at Foxbury, and they're having him baptised at the church there. And they're calling him Barney.
Well, can they do that, Mum?
Well, have him baptised? Why not?
Because he's somebody else's child. Cleo and her family are Catholics.
Well, Greg, it's happening because they've asked the Emblings to be godparents, and they've accepted.
Right. Well, I think Cleo's got a right to know, so I'm going to tell her.
No, Greg. For goodness sake, stay out of it. It's got nothing to do with you.